What is going on, guys? What is going on? I'll turn down that music real quick. No film study today. I was going to do film study. I just got hit with 2 copyright claims right before I got on. So, no film study today, unfortunately. But Jimmy Horn, we're going to see what they said in the press conference. I haven't listened to it yet, but they talked about Jimmy Horn. What's going on, BS? What's going on, my guy? Yeah, I'm going to try and stream earlier. I know when I stream late, not a lot of people can get on. So I'm going to try and stream a little bit earlier. What's going on, Deep Driver DD? Injury report, man. Here's the thing. Like, they fired what? Oh, that music still seems a little loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. Where's it right there? There it is. This injury report, man. They fired what? The different trainers last year? And I mean, damn. You got Shawsmith Wade at DNP, Tershawn Wharton back to DNP, Jatavion Sanders, Taylor Moton, and Chuba. I mean, I thought the injuries were supposed to be. I mean, I don't get what's going on with this team, man. I'm a little confused. I mean, the full participants are good, but I mean, these are on top of, I would assume, everyone else is already out. All right, DJ One-Up's limited. Patrick Jones should be back. Man. I should have been played Jimmy Horn. I don't care if it's a 6th-round pick. The whole Jimmy Horn thing, that's going to be an interesting one once the truth comes out there, because there had to been something going on there. How screwed are we? Excuse me. Even with Hill, I don't see us winning. It all comes down really to the backers, right? It all comes down to the linebackers. It comes down to the linebackers. It comes down to pass rush. Is Avero going to send some heat, or is he not, right? That's the thing. Is he going to send some heat, or is he not? And I had some film ready, but again, copyright hit. But against the Patriots, I think we only pressured the quarterback 5 times, according to NFL.com, right? Or whoever does their stuff. We only had 5 pressures. I think against the Falcons, the Jags, and who am I missing? Falcons, Jags. Who am I missing? Who's that 13? Arizona. That's right, Arizona. Against those 3 teams, so Arizona, Atlanta, Jacksonville, we had like 9 to 11 rushes as far as defensive pressures. Against New England, only 5. So take with that what you will. But, I mean, there's just, I don't know, man. This team looks rough. We're going to get to the press conference in a second. How is Bryce the one guy that never gets hurt? What was he born? He's taking some hits. He has taken some hits. Look at the Jets. Dolphins should be able to at least beat the Jets. Are the Jets that bad? I saw some people talking about the Jets being bad. Are they that bad? Let me see. I thought they started off the year hot. Oh, their own. I mean, that's tough. I mean, they've had a pretty hard schedule though with the Jets. They played Pittsburgh week 1, then Buffalo week 2, the Tampa Bay week 3, and then Miami week 4. Jets have a hard damn. Woo, that's a tough schedule. I want to see if Jimmy and T. I mean, here's the thing about that: the Jimmy and T-Mac thing. It all depends on the packages that Dave wants to run. If he comes out in this 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, we're not gonna see that. I wish. It'd be nice to see, but we're not gonna see that. It all depends if Dave trusts Bryce or not. Alright, so let's dive into that press conference real quick, take a listen, see what he said today, see if he said anything interesting.
Put our thoughts together. Right, a little bit of a combo day.
Let me know if you guys can hear it good or not.
Today, took Monday as a staff to really evaluate what we're doing, who we're using out there, and just kind of put our thoughts together and share that with the players. You know, here's where we're at with our schemes. Here's what's working for us. Here's what's not working for us, and things we have to improve on. So a little bit of a combo day, started off that way and then launched into the Dolphins and getting ready from a game plan standpoint to play these guys as they come in here. So, you know, it was really good. Just, I thought, really productive meetings all across the board. You know, just kind of showing the honest, clear picture of this is what we can look like doing things well. This is what we can look like when we don't execute and we give up big plays or different plays like that. So I thought it was really good. I thought the coordinators did an excellent job of painting a picture. And the bottom line is we have to give them something tangible to work towards, to work on, so that we can continue to improve our processes.
Say, if you can share, you talked about what you gathered and landed on. What did you guys land on in terms of those meetings, and where did you go?
I won't get into specifics of that. I think that's a little bit of a proprietary advantage for us to continue to work on the things, but there's good stuff, you know, and there's pockets of big plays on the defense, on special teams, in a couple of phases offensively, the lack of big plays, right? And trying to find a way to find explosives through the run game or the pass game. So those are some of the general things, you know, and then there's just a lot of details, a lot of communicating together and execution, you know, that we're counting on to carry over, and it's got to be consistent, you know, because there are these, in each game, there are drives where we're executing, we're talking, we're making the things happen, and then there's mistakes being made, and certainly, you know, myself included, you know, in that, in different phases of the games, you know.
Here's one thing I will say, and I'm not going to do film on it because it's already going to be Thursday for to put it out, but I did notice that the Panthers got to the line way quicker last week against the Patriots, like way quicker, and they actually copied what the Jags were doing. So the Jags, was that week 3? They had like 15 seconds left, and they would motion guys to see what kind of defense the Panthers were in. The Panthers actually started doing exactly what the Jags did. So I don't know who came up with that idea, but definitely sped things up. And I don't know that they had a false start against the Patriots, right? Which makes it even more weird. They basically get shut out, if we're being honest. Right? Or no, they did score that one touchdown early, right? But they motion to figure out what defense they're in, and yet they still can't execute. Really odd.
Different decisions and all that on plays to call. All of us just making sure we're taking accountability for the things that we can improve on.
You indicated Monday that Chuba was not limited during the game due to the calf. Has he had a setback there, or what's the deal?
Yeah, the calf needs more treatment. The calf needs more time, and so we're just taking it day to day with Chuba now. And you know, we needed to get him a rest day today, not put him out there, and try to get him back on the other side of it. You know, he was able to play and still played at a high level the way that we expect him to play, and ran the ball hard all the way through it. And so, but you know, coming out of it, we just didn't feel like he was in a really good. He wasn't in a better spot coming out of the game than he was the week before. So we're going to treat that day to day.
You guys released DJ Johnson. Can you tell us about the process behind making that decision?
Hard decision. DJ gave me everything.
Was it a hard decision?
I wish him the best. I believe that he's going to be able to help somebody. And for us, you know, just looking at our depth and looking for guys to produce, this is a production game. And that was one of the decisions that we had to make.
With regard to
Oh, Ryan. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this in a little bit, Ryan. You're gonna be shocked by what you see in a second. Chuba's hurt. Yeah. They didn't say that though in the game.
Yeah.
Do you feel that some of the issues have arisen because of trying to overcompensate at times, and if so, what have you worked on specifically this week to address that?
Just execution, just guys being on the same page, working together. This is the fundamentals of football that we're talking about, and I think the The most encouraging thing for me is as you watch the film, as we present it to our players, there are things within our control, and we have to make sure that we demand that, and the players have to make sure that we're following that execution through. As I alluded to before, 2 really good weeks of practice where there was a lot of good communication growth, but we got to see it consistently happen.
Follow up on Vashti's question about DJ. He'd been with you guys for a while.
Yeah.
To make the decision now, why was now the right time?
I just look at all of the things. We had a lot of time to evaluate what we were doing and who we could possibly use in different roles, and we just felt like this was the appropriate time.
No, it was public, and he didn't have a choice. A move had to be made. It's unfortunate. I'm not gonna say it's unfortunate DJ had to go, but the Panthers had to make a move, right? You sit there, you blow out the Falcons, right? Let me pull it up real quick. You blow out the Falcons, and you get absolutely destroyed by the Patriots, 42-13. You had to make a move.
During that evaluation you had on Monday and Tuesday, what, if anything, changed in your opinion about Bryce and how he's played in the first 4 games?
I've seen a lot of confidence, a lot of confident play. I believe that this is a group that's continuing to try to find chemistry. Of course, beyond T-Mac, who we've seen be a viable target for him, and then some other guys kind of flashed for us in different ways.
Hold up. Run that back.
We just felt like this was the appropriate time.
Run that back.
During that evaluation you had on Monday and Tuesday, what, if anything, changed in your opinion about Bryce and how he's played in the first 4 games?
I've seen a lot of confidence, a lot of confident play. I believe that this is a group that's continuing to try to find chemistry. Of course, beyond T-Mac, who we've seen be a viable target for him, and then some other guys kind of flashed for us in different ways. But finding that rhythm, finding that chemistry is really critical, and it starts in practice and just making sure we're continuing to throw the right concepts, put the guys in position to be successful in routes that they can really execute.
I won't argue with that.
This week is a little bit different now because we're getting Xavier back, and Jimmy Horn's getting ready to play. But we've gotten to see
Jimmy Horn's getting ready to play. Was he injured? Right? What? I mean, what does that even mean? Jimmy Horn's getting ready to play. I'm happy he's going to play, obviously, but getting ready to play. Did he not know the playbook? I mean, you couldn't put him in there for a drag route, a go route, something to stretch the defense. I don't know, man.
Bryson Tremaine in a certain role. So just continuing to find ways, to see how we can use Bryson as well.
Dave, talking about Jimmy Horn,
yeah.
Would it be more special team specific, especially with David Moore going on IR?
No, this is an offensive emphasis for Jimmy. This is
offensive emphasis.
The reason he's here, this developmental part of.
Dave is killing me right now. It's a reason he's here. If there's a reason he's here, why did you wait till week 5 when the Panthers are 1-3? If there's a reason he's here, why are we waiting till week? Man.
Knowing that these opportunities come up, and this isn't the way that we would all love to see this happen with Demo getting injured, but opportunities come in a bunch of different ways, and here we are, and I'm excited for Jimmy to get out there. I'm excited.
He basically just said them because an opportunity came because Demo got hurt, and now here comes Jimmy Horn. Here's my thing with this. And I've always had kind of this thought about this. Is David Moore better than DJ Johnson as far as offensive production compared to DJ? Yes. Is he better than Nick Scott? Yes. But David Moore is Dave's guy. DJ Johnson and Nick Scott are Avero's guys. They're not going anywhere unless the public media is just spreading it. So David Moore wasn't going to go anywhere, so it seems like Jimmy Horn had to sit behind him and wait. Jimmy Horn, it's not about saving the Panthers, right? It's about having speed, right? So QB school went over the same thing with Adam Thielen last year. They tried to put Adam Thielen in the slot to stretch the cover 2 to have the Mike carry. He's too slow. He's too slow to stretch the cover 2, right? The Panthers don't have speed at all. I'm not saying he's not. No. Listen, I'm saying as far as David Moore's guy is going to belong to Dave, right? And then DJ and Nick belong to Vero. They're not going anywhere, right? They're going to start no matter what, give or take.
For what he can bring to us.
He'll also play in a return role as well.
Maybe.
When you look at Jimmy from when he first arrived to now, what parts of his game do you feel like he's worked on most? Where is he improved?
Yeah, just ownership of our concepts. When I know Jimmy is confident about what's happening, you see the speed and ability really show up. And that's what's happened in the last 2 weeks as he's continuing to get himself ready, because you just never know. And here we are. And he's done the work. He's working really hard. It's all hands on deck. He's into it. He's excited about it.
You assessed those 4 games.
Yeah.
And looked at your play calling. Did you see any opportunities to maybe be more aggressive, especially where Bryce is concerned in the passing game?
Could be, yeah. I definitely think there were some spots. I believe we've come out and thrown the ball more than we have in the past and given our guys opportunities down the field. We haven't come up with big plays, whether it was a missed throw, a drop pass, miscommunication, just little things like that we have to continue to drill in on. So I think that those opportunities will still come up, but that was a big thing, Joe.
All right, we'll take a look at some comments real quick. Jimmy needs to develop. Dave requires slots to block in his system, especially now that he's experimenting with inserts. He just said, though, he's passing more than he ever did, Devin. I would agree with you, but he just said he's passing more than he ever did, right? So if you're going to stretch the ball and try to manipulate the defense, you need speed. You just do in today's day and age.
That was a big one that we looked at in the first 4 games. How can we get the ball down the field with the guys we're playing with right now?
How can we get the ball down the see where I'm going? Right? So you have to have speed.
Might be more of an EJ question, but from an inside linebacker standpoint, it seems like there are weekly struggles. What's your perspective on that unit, and is there like a fix there?
Urgency. The time is now. We have 4 games under our belt with different packages, playing against different styles of offenses, and that's the production and that's the urgency that's being communicated is, guys, we need better play here, in different spots. And there's good stuff too. And I saw Trevin Wallace, 2 weeks ago play his best game as a pro, and then he was inconsistent last week. And just getting him to settle in there and be big and fast like we know he is, Christian Roseboom, who we're counting on to call the defense and be in there, let's talk, let's execute. And so, yeah, there's a lot of urgency communicated to those guys, and they're up for the challenge.
In the 2 games that you had Xavier on the field and the 2 games he wasn't on the field, what did you see, even though he wasn't necessarily producing, how did you see him affecting the defense?
I think guys are aware of Xavier and how fast he is and how.
I get it, Christian being the mic to a point, but that might explain kind of why things are going he just said. Christian's the one calling the stuff, right? Let me see.
Game as a pro, and then he was inconsistent last week. And just getting him to settle in there and be big and fast like we know he is, Christian Roseboom, who we're counting on to call the defense and be in there.
Christian's calling the defense? I don't get on Twitter a lot, X, whatever you want to call it. I check every few days, see if somebody mentioned me or whatever. Try to respond back to whatever it is. But I saw somebody said that the Panthers signed Christian Roseboom as kind of like a special teams kind of guy. He's calling the defense. Dave just said Christian Roseboom is calling the defense. Man. I don't know. I don't know what to believe, to be honest with you. I thought when I read that had some validity to it. Christian Roseboom's contract for 2025, up to $3.5 million, $2 million guaranteed. That's who the Panthers have calling the defense. And nothing against Christian. I mean, by all means, get your money, do what you got to do, but oh man.
Let's talk, let's execute. And so, yeah, there's a lot of urgency communicated to those guys.
Not even just starting. He's the one.
And they're up for the challenge.
In the 2 games that you had Xavier on the field and the 2 games he wasn't on the field, what did you see, even though he wasn't necessarily producing, how did you see him affecting the defense?
I think guys are aware of Xavier and how fast he is and how big he is, and they're trying to attack that. They're trying to get their hands on him early so he can't build up his speed, and that's a part that he's got to continue to work through. I saw improvement going into the Arizona game. I saw him play faster. The nature of that game, the targets that went to him, I thought was just kind of a misfortunate deal. And Will Johnson makes a great play on a one-on-one go ball in the end zone, and he had good position on him. And I'm just waiting for that one play where I can see him smile.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Dave. I don't get. If I'm not mistaken, Will Johnson, that DB from Arizona, he's nice. If I'm not mistaken, I could have it mixed up with somebody else. But if I'm not mistaken, that dude is nice. So we get one-on-one with him on the get, and we're gonna go to that. Yeah. Do you see what this doesn't make any, like, we're just forcing things. And yes, Bryce Young is not playing consistent at all. But then it's another incompletion and it's another failed, kind of red zone attempt. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, come on, man.
And just
that's the other thing too. Before I go off my tangent, we'll get back to this in a second. It goes back to this. It goes back to lining up T-Mac by himself on the left side, whatever it might be. Put Leggett in the bunch. Put him in the stack more. Like, they do it a couple times. Just keep doing it. Put him and T-Mac together just constantly. Like, oh man, this is just frustrating. Will Johnson one-on-one in the red zone with Leggett already struggling. That's what we're gonna do.
Make a play.
Woo.
Just get the weight off of you. You're just out here to play football. Just do your part. So I'm excited for the work he's put in and excited to see him this week.
I agree, Devin.
Yeah. The defensive attention maybe for the two.
Let me see. That's one dropped inside line. Yeah, this was my whole thing. This is my whole thing drafting Trevor. I love speed backs. Running back's probably my favorite position. But it didn't make sense because you already had Rico. You had Boone. Boone's a solid backup, which is all you need. You had Chuba Hubbard. You have Brooks coming back next year. The fourth round, you probably could have got somebody of Christian's caliber, to be honest with you. I did not understand that pick. I felt like you needed Scored, you needed Princely. You got them both perfect second, third round. But the fourth round,
games that he was not in. How did you see that shifting and sort of the impact?
Get the weight off of you. You're just out here to play football. Just do your part. So I'm excited for the work he's put in and excited to see him this week.
I'm sorry. The defensive attention maybe for the two games that he was not in. How did you see that shifting and sort of the impact that he had?
I wouldn't say noticeable. There were some things that teams tried to do a little bit for T-Mac, but not out of the ordinary. This wasn't a full sell, let's stop this guy thing, which is why he's able to still produce for us. But we are looking for the other guys. I've talked about this before in the past game. You love to have a starting point. You love to say, we're trying to get the ball to this person because it does set up all the other stuff. It does open up other guys and their opportunities in one-on-one, whether it's in zone or whether it's in man. So these are the opportunities for guys to show us what they can do and really make plays when they're getting lighter coverages.
Christensen, what is it about him that makes you so comfortable putting him in different places?
He's really tough. He's very intelligent. He's willing. He wants to
Dave's
win.
Just tired,
he wants
man.
to help the team in any way possible. We use him as a big tight end. We've played him at center, at guard, the tackle spots, all those things, and we can count on him because he studies. He does the work, and he's ready to go. And I love his willingness to just help the team in whatever way possible.
Speaking of
I
being
understand that you can't
hydrated,
share specifics about what you and your coaches discussed, but when it comes to communicating to the team, outside of execution, was there one central message that you imparted to them based on the meetings that you had with the staff?
Yeah, just minimizing the catastrophic plays. We know teams are going to make plays. We know that turnovers happen, but the nature of how they happen, that's the part that we really have to hone in on. We can sit up here, and if we execute properly and a guy makes a great play one-on-one, that's the NFL. There's a lot of great players in the NFL, but it's when we give up free things, when we have turnovers, or we give up explosive plays because of lack of communication or different things.
Dave's a good talker, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Dave. That dude will ramble forever.
Things like that, or if
What's going
I
on,
call
Justin?
a play at the wrong time and it doesn't fit the coverage or whatever, and they have us or the pressure or different things like that. In the special teams as well, right? The big returns, right? We're in position. we have to be able to minimize those big plays because that shift happens. And when they do, we have to be resilient enough to just refocus and go out there and execute the next series, understanding that this
What's
is
going
the
on,
NFL
Matthew?
and teams are going to find ways to make plays. Can we stay consistent? Can we stay steady and just return to focus?
How much did
He was saying the other day that he's lost a key weapon in Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But he was saying that coaches don't really like to address the injury situation because it's like that next man up mentality.
Yeah.
But it does have an impact on every aspect of the game. What has been your experience, even including this year, that when you have that many injuries, it has on I guess, just your play in general?
We know that it has an effect. I can't think that way, and the players cannot think that way. We trust these guys to execute, that go out there. I get excited for the opportunity to find out new information about a player we may not have seen a lot. When they get in there, we get to know them more. We get to know how they can help the team. And so I always look at it from a positive standpoint.
Man, he's rambling.
And we were really fortunate to have Chandler Zavala step in, and that I really trust as well. This was an opportunity with Chuba, just not knowing if we're going to have him or not, going day to day with him. I thought it was really important that we start to see DJ Dallas. He's a guy that I really trust as well. This was an opportunity for me
either
to
just
reward a guy
promoted
who's
DJ
been
Dallas or just
working
signed
his
him
butt
running
off in
back.
practice. He's been running all the scout team running back deal. He's been excellent in protection in that role as well. He's doing all the special teams he can cover. He can play different spots. He can return. So I just thought a really valuable guy who really stands for what
What's
we're
going
about
on?
here in terms of
803?
just being a team player and being a high effort guy. And Travion Thomas, another guy that's done a lot of good things for us just throughout this season, really on practice squad, showing that he can be available for special teams as well, and also just seeing if we can opportunity to see him at defense at some point.
Tyreek being out, how does that? Not get the game plan of it, but how does it change defensively? I imagine he would probably normally be a focal point of your defense and try and slow him down. How does that change what you're allowed to do defensively?
Well, we all certainly know what a great player he is, but I respect this system and I respect Mike McDaniels in the way that he attacks defenses, and he's still good. They still have a lot of fast players.
What's next?
That they're on the ball. We're finding kind of in my DNA going. Both went to IR, just knowing that
urgency. Just things like
all right, Bryce time. Before we get to Bryce, actually, before we get to Bryce, I'm gonna have a video I want to look at real quick. All right, if it's copyrighted, I'll just remove it. I'll just take down this part, but we'll see. Let me see if I can upload this real quick. Oh man, let me see. They about to get the old Rick Ross beard here. Bryce can't be Superman. I mean, this whole team, it'll be interesting. But one thing I do want to look at real quick, we'll come back to this in a little bit, is we'll do this one first. All right. So right here is all the deep throws. Right here is all the throws that are 20 plus yards this season so far. So what, out of 4 weeks, right? So assuming right here, oops, hang on. Why is it doing that? Give me a sec. Oh, I restarted. Hang on. So, all right. So right here, assuming obviously he's going to T-Mac right there on the outside. That's the first play. All right. They send the nickel off the edge. Don't have enough time right there. All right, so that's play number 1, trying to go 20 plus yards. Play number 2 right here. This to me is where the coaches at some point have to address T-Mac trying to go up with one hand. Right here, it's 4th and 5. It's 20 seconds left till the third quarter is over. T-Mac's trying to go one hand right here. To me, at least try and draw the flag, right? Because that defender had that inside arm a little bit. Draw the flag right there. The one-hand catches are dope in practice, training camp. That's all nice to see. But I think we have to talk about T-Mac trying to go one hand sometimes, all right? It looks dope. Don't get me wrong, but draw the flag right there. Try and lift that inside arm up, all right? Get a flag. That way, if you don't catch it, You get the ball at the 3, but 4th and 5, bang, they turn it over there. Next one right here, 2nd and 10 against the Jags. All right, clean pocket. This one was Hunter Renfrow. I go back and forth on this play. Right. Hunter bang a little out and up. Bryce puts that towards the sideline a little bit too much. I really wish they would keep Hunter underneath. It's a tough throw. It's a tough throw. That one might be on Bryce. The next play we're going to look at right here. This, they just shoot the A gap. Right? So, what, 2 of the 3 plays where they try to go deep. All right, that one gets picked off. I mean, you got guys coming in untouched within 2 to 3 seconds. Next one against the Cardinals. Which one was this? All right, that's a good one right there. That hit Bryson. Empty right here. I mean, there wasn't a lot, and then obviously miscommunication at the top of the route. Just not on the same page. Because I think Bryce wants T-Mac to go back shoulder, not run with the safety potentially. And T-Mac keeps that thing upfield. That one's tough right there. I think we have, 1 or 2 more left? And then Bryce overthrows him. To me, this was the worst throw right here. Where Bryce kind of overthrows him. Other than that, he didn't really overthrow anyone, to be honest with you. But what I want to look at now is those are all the Panthers, I think, throws that were over 20 yards in the air. But we're going to look at the Buffalo Bills, Eagles, Chargers, Niners, Lions, I think, and Steelers. All right, we're going to see how have they done when it comes to throws over 20 yards plus. And we're going to look at all the ones that they completed. So first up is who? Just to get an idea, it's like, are the Panthers actually missing out on the deep ball throw? Right? Are they missing out? First one's the Chargers right here. I mean, you got that dude wide open. Woo, woo. That dude is wide open. Damn. All right, so Chargers, what? They're 3-1. Next play with them. We see Herbert's going to scramble. And Keenan Allen's what, like 31, 33 years old, making a one-handed catch in the end zone. Right? So the Chargers, they get another 20, 25-yard deep throw. And you got the veteran making a one-handed catch with the defender wrapped around him. All right, let's see how many more do the Chargers have. And this is all the 20-plus yard throws up until week 4. I mean, that's just a good throw right there. All right. And then right here is basically their Hail Mary. Just go underneath right there, right? Time's winding out. All right, so the Chargers have had 4 throws that were 20-plus yards in the air. 4. So we keep talking about Bryce Young. He's got over 20-plus yards. Through week 4, the Chargers had 4 plays that were connected for 20-plus yards in the air. They're 3-1. Then we got the Lions right here. Well, I think they lost the opener, if I'm not mistaken. I think they lost to the Packers. So there's 1 for them. All right. Next play, another one-handed catch. All right, another one-handed catch. There's 2 for the Lions. Look at that pocket. That might be Jamo right there. I mean, he's just going to run past the defense. So there's 3 for the Lions. All right, there's 4. All right, so Lions, only 4 catches for 20-plus yards. I mean, you see where I'm going? Through 4 weeks, only 4 catches of 20-plus yards. So the whole thing of trying to stretch the ball down the field, throw it 20, 25-plus yards, I hate to say it, but nobody else is doing it. All right, so here's one that's going to count too, another basically Hail Mary type of thing. And these are all the Bills, 20-plus yard throws, and you see it's all against the Ravens. It's all against the Ravens. Look at the score. You know, so right here's against the Saints. So we'll see how many aren't against the Ravens. There's one. That was it. So what the Bills and Ravens play what, week 1, week 2? And after that, they had one play for 20 plus yards in the air. All right, then the Steelers, right, with Rodgers. I think they've lost, what, one game, if I'm not mistaken? One play. One play of 20 plus yard throws in the air. So the whole notion that Bryce Young has to throw deep and the offense has to stretch, no one's doing it. I hate to break it to you, right? But if you look at the standings right here, let's pull it up. Did I miss it? Right here. We saw the Bills. The Eagles we're going to get to in a second, actually. There's a separate video for them. Chargers you saw. Niners were kind of hit and miss with Purdy not being in. They didn't have a lot. You saw the Lions, and you saw the Steelers. Nobody's stretching the ball. And if you thought Bryce was bad, oh, I got something for you real quick. So right here, there's going to be the throws between Jalen Hurts, all right, and A.J. Brown. You see the first throw right here? Jalen Brown's going to be at the top of your screen. He's going to have separation if Hurts puts that ball in front. Look where Hurts puts that ball. All right, that's throw 1. All right, throw 2. The Eagles run a screen. Okay, remember, the Eagles, they're undefeated if I'm not mistaken, right? They run a screen. Devontae Smith is going to leave him right there. Bang. He gets popped. Right? These are all the throws to A.J. Brown. All right. I think right here, they complete a pass. All right, on 3rd and 5. And then 2nd and 3 right here. Look where this ball ends up. So you guys talk about Bryce can't hit T-Mac. No, Bryce and T-Mac are that close. Look at Jalen Hurts trying to hit his best receiver, A.J. Brown. Look. Oh, man. And it's not like I'm cherry picking. These are all the throws to him. Look where this ball is going to end up. Like, like if you actually look around the NFL, you have your Josh Allen, your Patrick Mahomes, Lamar some days, right, and Burrow. After that, guys, it's inconsistent. All right, what do we got? The point is defenses are concerned that Hurts is not throwing deep. No. Ryan, I almost have to nix your statement and void it completely because Jalen Hurts did what against the Panthers last year? What were his stats? It was 22-16. Box score. Jalen Hurts threw for 108 yards. 108 yards. And you want to put him there with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. He threw for 108 yards against the Panthers. 108. Just in case you forgot, we'll look at this. Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. No. No. You see Jalen's numbers right here? 14 for 21, 100 yards. Let's see what we got. All the hype Bryce had, there was no excuse. We had a Heisman winner before. He was MVP. Bryce won the Heisman because he was surrounded by talent. Cam won the Heisman because he was a talent. I'm not going to deny it. But that goes with a lot of Heisman winners. Are we not watching the same stuff here, Ryan? Are we gonna... Okay. If we're gonna play this game, do we want to talk about the weapons the Eagles have and the offensive line the Eagles have had versus what the Panthers have? Come on, man. We can't sit here and pick and choose. There was a reason there was that whole discussion with Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts, everything about being a top 10 quarterback. He throws it deep because he has Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Somebody showed Bryce for like 500 yards. What more do you... I mean, it... The thing is, if we like Bryce, we're going to push a certain narrative. If we don't like Bryce, we're going to push a certain narrative. No, Ryan, no. You just said you put Hurts right here. You can't do that. And Hurts threw for 100 yards against Carolina. You can't... No, we can't sit there and try and move that. You can't. I feel like we're kind of going off topic here. My whole thing with this was, to begin with, you said Bryce has to throw it 20 plus yards. That's what a lot of people have been saying about Bryce Young. He has to stretch the field, throw it 20, 25 plus yards in the air. I just showed you that most teams only have 5 completions of 20, 25 plus yards in the air through week 4. And then you come back with... Oh, what'd you come back with? The point is, defenses are concerned. They're still playing deep, right? This is what you have to realize. Do I still have the film from last week? We went over the film. You were in here for that. Defenses are still playing over the top with Bryce Young, right? The Patriots allowed things underneath. The Patriots weren't sending 5, 6, 7 people. The Patriots are sending 3 and dropping, 8 back into coverage? Sending 4, dropping 7 back. Like, we got to make this make sense. If they're only sending 3, they're dropping 8 back. How are you going to throw it deep? If you can break that down for me, I'm all ears. But you can't. It doesn't make any sense. If they're going to have 8 in coverage, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You can say all you want that Bryce can't throw deep and teams aren't afraid, but when they only have to blitz 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. That's the unfortunate truth to this, is that it truly doesn't matter. Let me see if I can pull up the film. How many attempts are those teams making? I'd rather see Bryce attempt a few. That's not on Bryce, though. Right? That's not on Bryce. I'm sure Bryce wishes he could go to T-Mac every play, but it's on the play calling. I feel like we're starting now. Remember, this was all about the videos I showed you guys. Was all about throwing 25 plus yard throws. Yeah, and we're talking about Cam Newton, who was here 7-10 years ago. I mean, Cam Newton was going to go down as one of the greats of all time. So, I mean, we know Bryce Young isn't that. There's a lot of quarterbacks who aren't that. We've already established that. It's two different quarterbacks on top of that, and you guys know that. You guys know that. Who are we supposed to compare Bryce Young to? I mean, you compare him to Cam Newton if you want, but you know those are two different quarterbacks. You know those are two different quarterbacks. $165, and the other one also ran it 5-6 times a game plus. Sometimes 10, sometimes 12, sometimes 14 times a game. I mean, they're two different quarterbacks. Doesn't matter, two number. No, the argument's over. If that's what you're going off of, that they're two number one picks. No, I gotta nix your credibility right there. I have to. If that's what we're doing, if Jimmy gets a touchdown, you have to get the orange hair again. See, you guys have moved this goalpost so far. The whole point of this, right, was showing you that nobody is throwing the ball 20, 25 times or through the air 20, 25 yards. And now you're comparing Bryce to Cam Newton. You guys have moved this. Moved it. You guys have moved the goalpost out of the stadium. It's now in the parking lot. I compare Bryce to Brock. Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think Brock Purdy's better. Nobody's denying that. And nobody's saying Bryce Young is consistent. Say it louder. Say it louder. I don't understand how this conversation got about Bryce. No, it's not the same. No. We can't say it's the same organization. It's a different head coach, a different offensive coordinator, it's a different defensive coordinator. It's not the same organization. Don't do that. Don't do that. Signed all these stars to help Bryce succeed. Who? Who did they sign? I got to hear this. I got to hear this. Who did they sign to help him succeed? Let me hear this. Thielen? Come on, man. Here we go. Cam and Bryce aren't the same archetype. Cam down with it. Yeah, exactly. They had to prepare for Cam to potentially run. It's so different. Yep. And how is that doing, Ryan? How are they doing? How are they doing? Oh, this is a good point. They traded away the whole team to get this quarterback. They traded away their number one receiver to get a franchise quarterback, which they thought. And who was their number one receiver? Let's run this back real quick. Let's run this back, Ryan and Slim. Run it back. Who was the number one receiver when Bryce came in? Or who was the number one receiver before T-Mac got here? Don't say Adam Thielen. Don't say Adam Thielen. Otherwise, we're gonna. No. Before Bryce got here, Bryce was not here when DJ was here. And if you tell me Adam Thielen, credibility's gone. Gone. Who was Bryce's number one receiver the first 2 years he was here? When he was here, DJ Moore was not here. That's great. Who was the number one receiver? If he had weapons, just tell me who the number one receiver was. That's all I want to know. He had weapons. Let me know. Wow, now we're avoiding the question. No one's denying that the Bryce trade was stupid. Everybody agrees to that. Find me one Panthers fan who likes the trade. You won't find it. Boogie, no. Boogie, they said that they got Bryce a bunch of weapons to succeed. I'm trying to figure out who they got. Ryan, nobody's denying that. How do I think Jimmy Horn will do Sunday? It all depends what Dave wants to do with the personnel. If we go 12 personnel, 13 personnel, I don't know how often he's going to see the field. The real test will be if he was. The real test will be when Coker gets back. When Coker gets back, I think everything will change. I think everything will change when Coker gets back, which I don't know when that's going to be. If he was that good enough to trade away the weapons, we should be seeing. No, Slim, I'm not saying it was a good ROI. I'm not saying that at all. Tebber has made stupid move after stupid move. Stupid move. Nobody thinks the Bryce Young trade was good. They brought a rookie quarterback who didn't fit Frank's system at all. It didn't make any sense there. You had Laviska. I always draw a blank on who the other guys were. Chark, DJ Chark, and you had Thielen. And Laviska and DJ Chark didn't even really play that first season. They were hurt half of it. The trade was stupid. Bringing a Bryce Young to Frank Reich's system was stupid. The receivers they had were terrible. The offensive line his rookie year was terrible. That's why they went out and got Lewis and Hunt. Nobody agrees with the investment. The Panthers shot themselves in the foot 3 years ago. It's still bleeding a little bit. Just good old Bryce Young stuff. Just good old Bryce Young stuff. No, I think his rookie year stunted Bryce's growth. His rookie year stunted Bryce's growth. I don't like to trade, but sometimes you got to do. To a point, I mean, where did they move up, though, from BS? They moved up from what to what? I don't know that it was... I don't know that it was worth it to do that. I think we'll beat Miami if Lewis and Hunt are back. I don't know. I feel like Coker, for whatever reason, completes this offense. Let me see. It says Canals gave an update yesterday on Coker. All right, Coker, and I don't know if Coker will be back. When Coker gets back is what I want to see. For whatever reason, him and Bryce just have a good connection. I feel like we've gotten way off topic. I'm going to be honest with you. To an extent, how they play in college doesn't matter because the NFL is a different beast. Oh, 100%. It's just like Cam Ward right now. Cam Ward with the Titans. Woo, Cam Ward's not happy. But you got to realize when you go into a team with the number 1 overall pick, they suck. And that's what Cam Ward said, right? Would you rather have Bryce or CJ? Oh, man. I'd stay with Bryce because he's in the system, to be honest. And I told people CJ Stroud had Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Tank Dell's an animal. Nico Collins is a great route runner. Plus they had Dalton Schultz. Plus they had a run game. Right? That's what CJ came in with Schultz, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. Bryce came in with Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, and LaVisca Chenault. Those were the three. Oh man. The debate was basically the whole premise is all right. The whole premise is the NFL not throwing the ball deep. That's what it was to begin with. DJ Chark and Homebot. Yeah. You're good. You're good, Pancake. Anthony Richardson, he was compared to Lamar. Yeah, Anthony Richardson, man. To me, he's his own worst enemy. He's one of those people who have all that natural talent in the world, but unless you really work for it and work on it, you're not going to succeed. And I don't know that he cares enough. I don't know. I could be wrong, you know. It just feels like he's just not into it. Are Hunt or Lewis close to returning? If we go back to where are we at? So that one?
Urgency changes, things like that.
I mean, there's always urgency.
I don't. Was it? No, Hunt's done for a while. Hunt, I think he tore his bicep, if I'm not mistaken. Hunt's done for a while. Lewis, I'm not sure about. Oh man. With the one hand, Justin, I'm pretty sure that was Keenan. But if it was QJ, that was my fault then. But I mean, all right. Look, I don't know. I mean, it's tough.
Have a combo day today.
It's tough, right? Because these injuries alone, bro. I mean, yeah, that's right. Lewis wasn't. Lewis got his Lewis got his butt kicked against the Patriots. They gave Lewis that work. That's right. Chandler got hurt last week. Damian Lewis got that work against the Patriots. I've never seen him struggle so much. But the injuries, bro. The injuries. Oh, I got you, Justin. All right. I got you. Waiting for Nick Scott cut. We'll see. I mean, last week I felt like the defense. You had Patrick Jones and DJ Wanham out. That was bad. And then the dig stuff. Let me see if I can pull it up without getting copyrighted. Let me see. Because for whatever reason this week, the copyrights are just going out like crazy. So I just get like a little clip of it. Digs. Stuff on. Let me see. Receiving. Boom. Green Bay Packers. And Green Bay was not in the top list. Slim. Green Bay's 2-1-1. They weren't in the top list. Not in the top. They got 2 wins. One of the top 5, top 6 teams. Let's go. Where's Stephon at? So we had a couple big catches. Anyone know when Dave runs? Because he doesn't trust the offense swoop. Let's see. Plenty of Slim. Did you watch the film? Did you watch the film? Those were the completed passes for 20 plus yards in the air. Jesus. No, I think it's this man when it comes to the Panthers. I don't understand what is up with the perfect first drive and the rest of the game. We are terrible. That's just play calling, to be honest with you. And then getting pressure by 3 or 4 defensive people. I mean, that's all it is, right? So they drop 7, they drop 8 back. Like, that's great. Well, I'm still trying to pull up these Stephon Diggs stuff. Y'all taking this way too far out of context, bro. This is not that serious. If you don't like Bryce Young, you don't like Bryce Young. The conversation was never about Bryce Young. Just so we're clear, the conversation was never about Bryce. I don't know how it got taken this far out of context. Why am I talking about Bryce Young? The reason I'm talking about Bryce Young is if people are saying, fan bases, etc., not fan base, but the media, fans, are saying they want Bryce Young and the offense to stretch it deep, I got to tell you why and show you that nobody else is stretching it deep. So to expect Bryce Young to do that with this offense, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That was the first one. I just showed you. I literally just showed you the film. We need a QB. I mean, no one's saying Bryce is the answer, though, Ryan. Nobody's saying that. Everyone that I've heard from is up for competition next year. Nobody's saying Bryce Young is the future. I'm completely up for competition next year. Completely up for it. And here's the thing. I wish Dave Canales would have done competition in the preseason. I wish he would have. But Dave Canales, once again, chose not to play Bryce at all preseason. Where he played him, a few drives? That was it? I wish he would have made them compete. It's the same thing. We're not going to... what are we doing? If you want to give me a link, then give me a link. No quarterback. I mean, no quarterbacks have to be worth anything to me. Just put a competition in, right? Make Bryce earn it. And that's the other thing, too. No one wants to come to Carolina, and the Panthers don't want to really sign anybody. They got Roseboom starting at inside linebacker, right, directing the defense. I mean, film and stats are not the same. Please do tell how they're not. Bryce is the answer at this point. Nobody wants to come to Carolina. I mean, as of right now, but like I said before, I'm open for competition. I'm open for competition. Anthony Hill Jr. this draft. Let's take a look. Linebacker. Oh, to replace Roseboom. I agree with you. Why wouldn't you use the late pick on a quarterback? Are you talking about this draft or coming up? If you're talking about this past draft, I thought they did fine. I thought they took the nose right at 5th. Was it Cam Jackson, I think? They took Cam Jackson in the 5th, which was fine. They took Jimmy Horn in the 6th, which was fine. The slot guy. You need speed. And the Mitchell Evans, 7th round pick, has been a steal. Mitchell Evans has been killing it. Mitchell Evans, 7th round pick. He's killed it. 6th round pick, Jimmy Horn will wait on. 5th round pick. With Cam Jackson, I saw a lot of them. What was it? Week 2, maybe? So, I mean, the only bad pick to me, Ryan, in this draft was Trevor Etienne. Because I felt like you could have used a linebacker or a safety right there. You needed T-Mac. You needed a weapon. You needed edge guys. I felt like the draft was fine. Now, if you're talking about this upcoming draft, then, yeah, by all means. Definitely use a quarterback. Damn, Scatterboot over the ETN. Oh, I won't disagree with you there either. But I just meant we didn't need a running back. Slim, we're moving on, bro. We're moving on. We're just going back and forth. We have the next special wide receiver, and you still want to complain about Price. We'll bounce back Sunday. My fault, Jay. Bounce back Sunday against the Dolphins. I hope so. But you got to get pressure on Tua. If you get pressure on Tua, then I think you have a good chance. But if you don't get pressure on him, it's gonna be tough. I mean, Dolphins are 1-3. Let's see. Right? I played along long enough. I'm good now. I'm not. This isn't a debate channel. All right. If you want to talk, we can talk. But you're like getting way out of hand with this stuff. How much you want to bet we win against Miami? I got a feeling. I hope I'm not gonna bet against the team winning. They lost to Buffalo, lost to New England, lost to. Interesting. They lost to New England by 6. And Tyreek Hill has been the. Damn, Tyreek Hill has been their leading receiver. You might be right. I mean, when I look at this. Let me pull it up real quick. Based off this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. I mean, Tyreek Hill's been their leading receiver all 4 games. He's out. That might be a chance. There might be a chance. 40, 109, 49, and 67. Damn. And the high rush. Damn. You might be right. You might be right. Boom, boom, boom. That Tyreek Hill injury was gnarly. Will never be the fastest man again. Who takes the spot? I mean, Worthy's quick. Worthy's definitely quick. I don't know who the fastest guy would be. You got Turpin. Turpin's pretty quick too. Turpin's stupid quick. All right. We're good. We're good. We're not going to keep doing this. We're good. The people that claim Bryce needs to be cut don't really think it through. We have no other options right now. No one's saying to cut Bryce. I don't think anyone's saying to cut Bryce. Just we need competition. We need competition for sure. Need to send Coach EJ out of the Carolinas and get a good linebacking core and better coverage. Yeah, we got to get something. You're right, Turpin's fast. All right, guys, I'm probably about to wrap this thing up. I feel like we got a little out of what I wanted to do originally, but it's all good. It happens. So again, final thoughts, man. I hope there's competition next year for the quarterback position. You know, I hope there's competition there. I hope the Panthers get some linebackers. But we'll see what happens against the Dolphins, right? We'll see what happens there. So Panthers Advice is out. Might do another video too before the Dolphins game. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.